Hello, welcome to my video. My other video got taken down by YouTube because apparently there was too much tags. Which, fair enough, but they could have just told me that there was too many tags. But back to the video. Right, so if you're having this problem, where the computer properties. Look, so if you see this, it says 1.95 gigabyte usable, but I've got 8 gigabytes. Right, to get rid of this, it's a pretty simple problem. So, what you need to do is click in here, msconfig. Press enter. Look, and it opens up. Right, now go to the boot tab, advanced options, and tick the box for maximum memory. This will basically be maximum memory that's available. Press OK and apply. And OK. Now what you've got to do now is restart. Now look, you can see that it's 8 gigabytes is back in. Right, so if this doesn't work, one of the problems is that installed devices could be reserving the RAM for themselves, so it won't be used anywhere else. There could be more than one RAM stick, right? But make sure, if you've got more than one RAM stick, make sure that you've got similar RAM. So you don't want two different brands, because that will not mess up the motherboard, because the motherboard is fussy like that. And things like onboard graphics could be using the RAM for VRAM, because it's got nowhere else to go. And you may be over the limit for your motherboard, your RAM, because your motherboard only supports a certain amount of RAM. You might have an old BIOS, so go into the manufacturer's websites. I'm HP, so I'd go on the HP website. The version of Windows 7 that is installed may not handle the actual RAM. Like Windows 7 Start Edition only supports 2 gigabytes of installed RAM, and your RAM may not be in correct slots on your motherboard. This is a simple error that could be made. Check them, and if you've got more than 2 RAM sticks, make sure they're in the same colour slot. So 4, you'd have it in the same colour, so blue. And your RAM stick may be malfunctioning, so swap it with another, see if it's working. And your RAM might not be recognised, so make sure it's recognised by mashing the F10 key on startup before the Windows logo, and then it will show already where RAM is. And Windows might be reserving RAM for another process, attempting a RAM refresh. So in Notepad, let's go to Notepad, type this, my string equals brackets 8 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, and you save that as a .vbe file. So save that as .vbe. So let's go on desktop 1.vbe, and this makes your computer slightly a bit faster as well, because it says to the RAM you're not doing very well. Double click that. You might not see a difference, but that basically refreshes your RAM, and so everything's redone. And BIOS setting, right, in the BIOS setting you go into the BIOS, mashing the F10 key and start up before the Windows logo. You go to the advanced tab, the chipset settings, enable memory reamp feature, exit and leave. And if none of these work, last resort is reinstalling Windows 64-bit if you're from 32-bit, or just reinstalling, see if it works, buying a new PC, maybe even buying a Mac, and or just don't mess around with your RAM, just leave it and get another good PC, but then it'll be slow. Basically it. Thanks for watching, and hopefully YouTube won't delete my video again when it nearly topped 80,000 views. Hopefully you guys, my subscribers, and anyone who's watched the video can help me out. Just give me a like.